Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming at you with the Starcraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game starring Sneezy the battle cruiser, two laser upgrades, two tac fighter upgrades, frigate from Agrippa, starting off with some range on his backlash rockets, Shadow Aztec, no abilities, just kind of like farming build. We got an 1X, the carrier, 5 interceptors on his carrier. Katosk coming in, hasn't upgraded just yet. Battle Sauce jumping in with the Plague Sauce. And on the red side, we got Maffuman coming in with a Destro with his little lasers. A bit of farm, kind of the 1-1-1 build. Jack actually comes in as a Overlord with that Plague. Got it off on Sneezy already. Sneezy was a little bit too sleepy. We got Mental MP, the carrier on this side, also going for 5 interceptors on his carrier. Furia, the battle cruiser, 4 laser upgrades. That is as old school as you could possibly get. And I will defend this build up until such point as I die, because I'm old school. And the 4 laser upgrades, although yes, you are missing vital missiles and whatever cool abilities you want to have, you can one-shot farm. And for 10 minutes, you are just prepared to make some money. Of course, if you are fighting other capital ships and defending people who are about to have to run away, you are not making very much money. So Furia, probably a little furious that he has to, not farm as much. Katosk pushing up Maffuman. Katosk has prismatic beam, 0.43 speed, upgraded speed a little bit, upgraded damage a little bit. Plague, nice shot from battle shots. Hitting Judah the red Void Ray, who has charge already? Charge, yeah, alright, charge. Increases the damage. Ghetto actually pushing in. He doesn't have, a fancy ability, but he's just pushing up. Furia having to push back again. Wishing that he could just, perfect Plague. Wishing that he probably could have farmed a little more. Synchronos. Having Tempests, and we can actually guess how many Tempests he's been able to launch. 0. Because the Tempest cost 225, which is your entire potential starting energy. And he ain't got that just yet. He's so far at 187. Tempests are a good ability, not a good first upgrade ability. Let's see if that pushes up. Furia, trying to farm. I know, buddy, you have your speed, you have your lasers. Really good against carrier interceptors. It's a consolation prize. Let's see. Shadow Aztec. He was just also farming. He went for a little bit of speed. 1.91 speed. I think he upgraded 3 times. 3 times upgrade speed is definitely going to help him juke out of trouble. Jack really wants to get that Plague off, and it does. Hits. No, it misses. Sneezy moving out just in time. Plague is an area of effective damage, and there ain't nobody in that area to affect. Furia trying to farm. Battle Sauce trying to Plague. And he does. Just trying to do whatever he can. Farming up as well. He actually went for the Prismatic Beam. You have to basically choose whether you're going to upgrade your Prismatic Beam to do damage against capital ships or farm ships. And he chose capital ships. Still can 2-shot farm, but not as effectively as a 1-shot farmer. Maffuman coming on up. Has what now is going for a little bit more damage with his Gatling cannons, a little bit more damage with his laser batteries as well. Agrippa shooting his missiles as much as possible. There you go, Synchronos. Now you have your Tempest. They are weak, but they are there. They're there. Yeah, they are there. Let's see. Shadow Aztec. Now upgrade some EMP, some good old-fashioned EMP action, which he's going to use against Jack, possibly to take out his abilities. Yes, he does. Jack ain't got Jack energy anymore. But he also has friends. His friends are around him, so that's perfectly fine. Synchronos. Well, if you're gonna have somebody on your team upgrade early Tempests, I mean, hey, perfect shot EMP. You're gonna have somebody. With Tempest, you might as well try to farm as much as you can while you got them, if you got them. These Tempests are just House Tempests coming in. 140 damage, 240 to the capital ships. 140 right now. It's actually the House Tempest start off better. 240 damage versus massive as opposed to 140. but they're dead. But they're about to be dead anyway. They are about to die. There they are. Trying as much, and they're gone. Sneezy, jumping in with a Lockdown. Lockdown is a great ability. Drains energy, 100 per second. The carrier went, Scouts as well now. Okay, so he went for Tempest, causing a lot of energy, and then Scouts as well. Ain't got no interceptors. Hey, he's technically still, you know, two-shot farming. His interceptors are just kind of super weak. And at least he's backing up. He's backing up, though. He does have to care, at least Scout's ability. Scouts actually don't cost any energy. They just kind of auto-spawn. Let's see if we can click one of our little cute Scout buddies. No, Scout buddies, where are you? I think you're dead. I think you're dead. They can tank some damage once you upgrade them. But then they also just kind of split money. So now he's splitting it 3 ways instead of just 2 ways. He's got carrier, interceptors, tempests, and scouts. Choose one of your 3 children, press the button, and essentially all 3 will be somewhat weak for quite a while. Mental MP, sticking with the good old-fashioned interceptors. Interceptors are great for farming. They're also great for doing capital ship damage as soon as they get past into the double digits, and they are. Jack trying to move back. Ooh, Furier got he got feedbacked and then EMP'd. He went for the nuke. He went for a nuke. So I'm not sure if they like just saw him and wanted to shoot him with their energy deniabilities, or if they just suspected a nuke. But they were right. $400 in the very beginning of the game. Spent on nuke. And, you know, you can't use it if you ain't got no energy. Jack, you gotta move on back. NSH Human comes in for the save, pushes away, scares away all of those people. Could they have pursued him? Maybe. They probably could have pursued Jack right there, but they also would have taken a lot more damage in the pursuit of doing so. NSH Human has his repair bots. Now, repair bots are good, but they can't repair in combat. Once you start taking some damage, they die. So they are good once you're out of combat to stay alive. What's also good to stay alive is to keep on moving. You want to keep on doing that. And he's just trying to take as much damage, push as much as possible. And Agrippa has Rip Wave warheads already. Now, there's nothing so much as like a PDD or force field or something like that. But it does, add area of effect. And he has the energy for it. So the area of effect might end up killing some extra things. There we go. Let's check out the scouts now that we got them. They're unupgraded. They have 60 life, 2 armor, 2 armor. Special interceptors, which have 42, 60, 40 damage on their 40 damage on their cute missiles versus 14. So scouts are like 4 ace extra damage doers. I think that they can add some damage in there, but they are kind of particular, and they are also money that you're not spending on interceptors. Juder, he also now has Energy Nova because he saw that there was a carrier up there from 1x. The red side is kind of farming on up. Breathe in, having Blackout, early $400 ability. But there are many ships that would be extremely devastating to use. So, if he does end up using it, that could be pretty neato. Red side is moving back. None of them are actually hurt at the moment, but they had their time to farm, and they're just gonna, not die. Except for possibly Synchronos. Synchronos is being attacked by Agrippa. Agrippa's moving in. We got Sneezy and Ghetto SC jumping on in, trying to do as much damage as Synchronos as possible. NSH is trying to scare away the best people as possible. There's a nuke that's chasing Sneezy. We're keeping an eye on him while the rest of the action's going on. Synchronos, keep it on pushing, keep it on good. Oh, he does get taken out by Agrippa, but Agrippa's also in the position where the entire red side is behind him, and I don't think the nuke actually hit Sneezy, and Agrippa was taken out by NSH Human. We kept an eye on Sneezy. I don't think he actually got hit by the nuke. Shadow Aztec is like, hey, wait a second, I'm here to, restore shields, somebody. Jack, perfect shot on Shadow Aztec and Ghetto. And little splash damage from the missile pods onto the interceptors of mental MP and or synchronous. Well, they used to be synchronous. Now there ain't. Now there's no synchronous. Anyway, yeah, splash damage is a factor. It does 125 damage plus 475 versus massive 600 damage to your buddies. Probably won't kill them, but not necessarily nice to do if you can avoid it. And it's back went from a 6 versus 6 to a 5 versus 5. Now we got a Furia. His nuke is like most of the way back. 30 second countdown on that. And perfect shot from Battle Sauce. Battle Sauce 400 energy, split between Psy Blast at 100 and Plague at 100. He hasn't upgraded the Plague to be the 150 ability, doing more damage. They might not want to do that until he upgrades some other things. He has 0 money. He has $20 to his name, so he kind of can't. He really doesn't. He got no money. But he does have to retreat, and I know that he wants to get as much as possible. Beautiful shot on Maffuman, but you know, you can't really squeeze too much blood out of that stone. You really gotta, you know, not die. 1x coming in. Interceptors at 15 versus I think the interceptors on the other side a little bit earlier. Nuclear missile, armed and ready. Get him blinking on in as the blink to try to get a little bit closer. Void Race, as we all know and love, can do a lot of damage, but can't extend their beam range, or their phase disruptor range, but can't extend their beam range, so they have to kind of sometimes blink to get in or out of situations wherein they could live. He blinks back just to hit Maffuman a little bit, and also get out of the direct attack range, and he's going to maybe have to keep on going. Juder jumping in, Juder jump, and scared people away. Mostly just beautiful. There was a blink, and it did actually work. They got Plagues back and forth, but Ghetto Blunk out of the way just in time. Blackout on Mental MP and Juder. Now you want to jump in to combat speed attack, do a little bit more damage. Got another energy drain on them, and Maffuman is taking quite a bunch of damage. He's got a Plague, and he had Blast, but Ghetto was not in position to try to take them. It's a plasma barrage. It's a plasma barrage from Mental MP on the Ghetto, and that's gonna scare away anybody. Successful defense of that attack. Successful blink away. Sneezy also juked it. So kind of a misclick from Jack. He is just gonna kind of gather his energy. Now he actually upgraded his Psy Blast as well, around the 425 range. Yeah, he's going to try to split it as much as possible. The blue side getting on out of there. 3 of them kind of, you know, flying away, and 2 of them blinking away. And these 3 little Tempests saying, okay, we are now ready. Sneezy saying he's going to go for a nuke. Sneezy, you have 2 abilities already. Missile pods for anti-carrier stuff, lockdown to drain energy, and now he's going for high damage nuke, which is, you know, cool. Hey, you can do whatever you like in this game, I will say. He also upgraded his speed, great, but that means that you have to sacrifice something. You can upgrade things, but once you upgrade them, they're permanent. You can't un-upgrade them. You can't, you know, sell them for whatever 75% of the cost. Once you got them, you got them, and that does mean that other things are not going to be quite as good, like his missiles. But hey, you got one large nuke, one large missile, and we got a warp trick coming in. We are going to watch, and we have Shadow S-Tech kind of back there, actually providing a little bit of like, you know, cover while this is all coming in from behind. For jumping in, they're going to try to see who they can get, and we got a nuke coming in, hitting Furia taking a bunch of damage. He's at 3,000 life. There's a blast on him, and there's a vortex. Vortex it got the most of the blue team, but it also was not quite enough. Beautiful lockdown does stop Mental MP from launching a Plasma Barrage. By the time that the Vortex is coming back, the Plasma Barrage might be back online. It is, and we're going to see, will that be able to take out Ghetto SC? Is going to do quite a bunch of damage. He's got one blast from one way, another blast from another side. He tried to blink away. It did work a little bit, but it did not stop all of the damage. NSA Human does have a protective field. He has to use that extra 50 armor to try to live as much as possible. Shadow Aztec EMPing possibly some friendlies as well as some enemies, but just try and do as much damage as possible. Mental MP launching Plasma Barrage against Ghetto, and Ghetto does not have very much life. He has 400 left and 200, 150, and he does blink away. He blinks away with 100 life left. We're going to keep an eye on him, but the Interceptors were just about to take him out. We're going to keep an eye on everybody else. While they're sort of split away, we have 70 life, 60 life. And an NSA Human pushing up, trying to scare Battle Sauce. Battle Sauce would try to go as far away from him as possible, and Ghetto does make it back with like 40 life left. We got Shadow Aztec taking a Side Blast from Jack. Side Blast is doing 1790. It was upgraded. NSA Human in perfect position to take out Shadow Aztec right. Oh wait, save by the gas, and killed. But the gas did save him, prolong it a little bit. Beautiful Plague hits Sneezy and not Battle Sauce. Does hit Sneezy. Ghetto SC blinking up, trying to take out Mental MP. Mental MP has his Vortex still not quite back. It has 14 seconds left before the on cooldown, and he's down to about 3,000 life. Will this be enough to take out him? No. The rest of the red side does jump in just in time to save him. And NSA Human also going to try to come on back. He does have 20 standard armor without any fancy abilities. With his fancy ability, he has 70 because he has an armor increase of 50. And Battle Sauce jumping in, trying to do as much damage. Juder using his little energy nova, mostly to farm. It doesn't actually stop abilities, but Interceptors, yes. Blinking, though, is going to definitely do some damage. Ghetto doesn't have very many shields. He only has 800, but they're certainly going to try to do as much damage against Juder as possible. Beautiful lockdown, but really, look at these. He has 4 abilities. He can't use it very many because he only has 425 energy, which is a lot. It costs a lot of money, but it's still split between 3 different things. Mental MP taking taking the Plague. Just like in regular Starcraft, you actually can't there's no Protoss ship that can repair its hull damage, so that damage is somewhat permanent, semi-permanent, like tattooing yourself with a quote permanent marker, like a Sharpie. Don't fall asleep, kids. We got Ghetto SC running away, NSA Human using all of his abilities. He has 400 energy, split between 2 $50 abilities. He can press the F key as much as he wants, and the B key, F and D, F and D. You use your force field, protected field, to add some extra health and keep yourself in the shields. As long as you're taking shield damage, you can use your repair bots. And that's where he even has a couple upgrades in the shields, mostly just so he can repair them a little faster. Stay in the shields. Let's see, we got a 4 versus 4. Let's see the composition. We got a Void Ray, a Battle Sauce from an Overlord, a BC, and a Carrier, versus a Void Ray, a Tank, a Overlord, and the Carrier. So the difference is a Dreadnought versus a BC. Dreadnought is a tanky buddy, also has a high damage once you get close. And the BC has, he has every ability in the book, but that's kind of what BCs are. They're medium damage, but very cool abilities, usually helpful in that. NSA Human, his abilities are more just designed around the tank aspects of his life. So he's not necessarily typecast, but his abilities double down on the things that he's already pretty good at. And Mental MP is showing us that even though you're a carrier, doesn't mean you have to stay a carrier. You can also use Plasma Barrage, which not only looks cool animation-wise, but also launches plasma missiles at the enemy, doing up to 3,240 damage over 3 seconds. He also, that's a good way of launching your interceptors, which are upgraded 21 times, doing 54 damage, and then following that up with some Plasma Barrage. So doing both. Beautiful Vortex. Vortex hitting the carrier from the blue side. The blue side kind of has to stay around this area to defend their buddy, because their buddy can't move for the next like couple seconds. Nuke coming in, possibly going to hit NSH Human. There's a blast on him. He's well within the 3,000 life. The 6,000 that would need to take him out. He does. Okay, so Protective Field also reduces abilities down to 25%, but NSH Human is going lower and lower and lower. And will there be enough? One more Side Blast could possibly take him out. He only has 6,000 life. Does Battle Sauce commit to attacking? He does. NSH Human is taken out by Battle Sauce, but Battle Sauce himself may be taken out by the carrier if he's not protective enough. And there he is. Combination Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Plasma Barrage, and Psy Blast to take out the Overlord. So now it's a 3 versus 3 again. We got a Void Ray, so many abilities, and a carrier with Vortex and Plasma Barrage, and a Overlord, Jack, and we got versus a Void Ray with Blink. 1X also has Vortex, and a Battle Cruiser. Get over here, Battle Cruiser, with a bunch of abilities, including Nuke. Now, let's see. The Battle Cruiser is a multi-role fighter. It's primarily a fighting, brawler, but it also has some abilities that can really change the book up. So, Juder has Cloak. We haven't quite seen very much Cloak action, but he does have it. Blink jumping in to attack Jack, but the Side Blast is something he can't quite avoid as easily. Juder is locked down. He can't use his abilities. He's out of energy entirely. Mental MP, gonna launch as many Plasma Barrages as he possibly can against Ghetto. The Interceptors are chasing Ghetto. They would do 60 damage if they ever caught him. There's a beautiful Vortex as well. We're going to keep an eye on Ghetto to see while he's taking as much damage as possible. He does probably make it back to base, but has to come on back into combat without any shields. And the Void Ray is just trying to avoid the fight while trying to also pretend. So he's mostly just there as a scare tactic. Beautiful defensive shield from Sneezy. Again, he does not have... He has 425 energy split among 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities. And at that moment, he wanted to press the V key for a couple extra life, 2,700 extra life, which is less than the Plasma Barrage can do, but definitely needed if you're gonna get caught. We're gonna see some sky. They're gonna go in. They're just gonna pretty much die by themselves. Jack is trying to farm as much as possible. 11. Jack with the 11 upgraded Interceptors build. Mutilisks. And Mutilisks, actually, the Blade Worms do bounce, which is super cute. So 34, and then a little bit less. 33%, 33%. So they're really, really good at farming. Pretty okay at capital ship attacks, but really good at farming. Juder possibly has to jump on out of their little Void Ray on Void Ray action right now. Ghetto did not have any abilities. Let's check out the differences. 0.43 beam. He just has charge, so he's doing quite a bunch. Ghetto is 0.23 beam. His Ghetto's beam is faster, meaning he does more damage more quickly. But Juder has so many abilities that he can possibly make up for it, like Cloak and Blink. Blink, I guess. Charge, doubling up some damage. Let's see if this Battle Cruiser, this multi-role, can detect Juder if he needs to. But there's also two people who can launch, vortexes at each other. And Ghetto taking quite a bunch of damage. You can blink away to some degree, but that only usually stops 1 or 2 shots. And so both sides try to keep a healthy distance. This is like a 6th grade prom. Arms out, leaving some room in the middle, because they don't want to engage too heavily. Both both teams have to be cautious because there's only 3 of them. Very limited room for mistake. And 1X is also now just trying to farm. A whole bunch of Plasma Surge on these Archangels. Look how much more life they have. They are the kind of like the auto spawned heavier damage pushers, and Ghetto doesn't have anything cool like Energy Nova. So he just upgraded his phase disruptors. His phase disruptors are more upgraded than his laser. The damage versus light corresponds. So you only upgrade your damage versus capital ships or versus interceptors. And right now there's a vortex. There's a vortex from Mental MP. Let's see if the red side can capitalize. The Void Ray is not necessarily near the combat zone, but he is pretty speedy. He could try to get up. Sneezy is kind of staying behind the vortex. And there's a Mental MP launching as many Plasma Mirages as he possibly could. We got Juder in a good position to possibly hurt 1X if he gets right there. We got Interceptors doing quite a bunch of damage. Sneezy might have to do some damage to save his own buddy right now. And 1X, we're going to keep an eye on him. He's less than 3,000 life. I think his own Interceptors were able to protect him. We got Mental MP shooting down Ghetto, launching as much damage as possible. Juder kind of staying there, tanking a bunch of damage. Ghetto taking a bunch. Jack trying to move on up. His Plague is just about to be off cooldown, and he launches a Psy Blast. Doesn't have as much energy to support both abilities. He's pressing whatever button he possibly can. They both cost 100, so it's really just B or G, whichever one he can possibly press is the one he wants to press. Juder now back in action. 1X did stay alive throughout that thing. The Interceptors at 20 for the 1X and 25 for Mental MP. Comparable, but not the same. Any upgrades at this point are going to cost about. Let's see if I can keep an eye on that. Ooh, I can do this. Interceptors. To upgrade this Interceptors one more time is going to be 165 money. And Juder is not moving. Juder is not moving, and he's just taking a bunch of damage. That is a free kill from Ghetto by the red side, which is met with an appropriate dot. Ellipsis. It's an ellipsis +1, just to show how much of an ellipsis it is. We got Sneezy using his missile pods. Missile pods to do as much damage as possible. Missile pods only do 125 damage, which is a lot, but like, how much life do these Interceptors have? They have 96 plus 96, which is way over 125. Plus, you gotta remember, it's 125 minus 14. Sneezy, there are no Void Rays around to be cloaked, but he does want to see where the rest of the red team is. Beautiful lockdown on Mental MP. And they're just trying to push up as much as possible. He's a multi-role fighter. His missiles are still not very upgraded because he just hasn't had the time. Look at this. Energy, he has 500. He has to press it between all these buttons. And, I mean, his lasers are kind of staying a little bit okay. You know, they're not neglected, but his missiles kind of have to be. Range is okay. It's not as far as it could be because he has so many other abilities that he wants to press. The keyboard, the piano build. These are just House Tempests pushing on up. We got a Jack. Ooh. Launched his plasma, but Ghetto blunk away in time. And there's a vortex. There is a vortex, and the battle cruiser is not necessarily in range, but they are going to try to push as much as possible. There's a beautiful plague on Ghetto. Ghetto is taking quite a bunch of damage as the Void Ray, and Mental MP does do some more damage. And there's going to be more and more shots. The defensive shield. What? Sorry, kids. The defensive shield is going to make me die. It has you know, 3,400 life. It has been upgraded. You can upgrade it a couple times. It just costs like 50, 100, 200. or 150, 200, something like that. And it keeps on, you can upgrade it, but he's kind of relying on that. His regular base armor is not the greatest. Let's see. We got the entire blue side. They had to defend a little bit, but they are staying up here. They are trying to farm as much as possible. BCs have many abilities, but he has to kind of now really rely on them because of how much damage. I mean, look at Jack's Side Blast, 100 energy, doing 2480. Interceptors coming in. Interceptors doing 60 damage. Ghetto SC not having very much armor. He's out of shields. He has 3,000 life. And if they got one more Plasma Barrage, you would not be okay, Ghetto. Because this Plasma Barrage is doing 3,200, and that's basically what you got. We got these Interceptors getting on out of there. Jack still hasn't upgraded Plague, done the Super Plague, the Bubonic Plague, but it's still pretty good. And actually, it conserves energy. Energy that he could use on, I guess, speed? Yeah, he uses it on speed. One of his main abilities is his abilities. he can use Side Blast, 2480 damage, can use Plague, but he can't use them if he can't get close. That's why he has 1.92 speed. Probably almost comparable to how fast Ghetto is. Yeah, I mean, 1.92 speed, 2.06 speed. I mean, it's not too far off. He's probably one of the speedier people in the book. 1.92 speed as well. And little lull in the action. So I'm gonna have some water, so don't die. Alright. We got one next coming on in. This slow guy at 1.71 speed. Not actually very slow. It's about the speed that you do want to usually have and maintain. It's kind of the minimum. Beautiful Plague. Beautiful Plague hitting the Void Ray. Void Rays are like, he has 10,000 shield potential, but ooh, broke away. But very little health right after that. So the Plague, 2 shots of Plague is basically always going to burn down a Void Ray because they only have 5,000 maximum, and the Plague does. 1,200 was 400. We got a Vortex. Vortex getting the Battlecruiser, and the Battlecruiser is well within the range of the Havoc missiles, doing 200 damage. We got a Mental MP launching his Plasma Barrage. Ghetto SC is unable to link away from that and does get taken out. The Battlecruiser is also still well within the Vortex, and now going to start taking damage from the tower, as well as Jack, as well as Side Blast and all that. And Nuke is going to be launched. He's going to launch a Nuke in desperation to chase away Jack. It does work. They're going to have to kind of retreat. Now it's a 2 versus 2. A Battlecruiser and a Carrier versus a Carrier and an Ovi. The Nuke is gonna time out. Okay, it does time out. Mental MP, gonna move on up. Running out of energy, trying to recoup some of that. 30 upgraded Interceptors versus 29 upgraded Interceptors. There we go, that's pretty proportional. Sneezy. Yeah, pretty much you gotta use your missile pods at all points. Let's see. We got a back and forth action on this one. And now the red side is making their move. They're making their way on downtown, walking fast, and these people are gonna go on out of there as much as possible. They have to go back to base, okay, to use their money. We got 460 right now and 450 or 61. They have to go back to base to use that. Interceptors coming on in, defending. Interceptor on interceptor fights, right in the middle. Jack. Kind of staying within the gas. Staying within the gas, doesn't want to take too much damage. Sneezy, throwing up a defensive shield because there's interceptors in the area. Defensive shield is just a straight 3,500 life for him. It has no armor associated with it as well, but hey, he has to do that because he's kind of relying on his tank ability. 10,000 what's it called? I mean 10 upgrades on his plasma shields, and he has defensive shield, but I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the biosteel as of just yet. Usually what people do when they have that many plasma shields they try to heal up with their automatic regen through bioshield, steel. He doesn't have that quite yet. He probably should use some of that $613 to press these two buttons, right? These two. They're fun. They're great. They keep him alive. Interceptors. Do as much damage to Jack as possible. Jack is, he's trying to do what he can. He might have even plagued these interceptors. He has mutalisks of his own. The mutalisks are trying to take out as many interceptors as possible. It's about 2,000 life. These interceptors are doing quite a bunch of damage, about 70 per shot. And he has about 1,000 life. Really make it back to base before these interceptors keep on taking him out. And they does some combination of his own mutalisks, which do get over here, you little buddies. Over here, 34 damage divided by 3 divided by 3. Basically, kind of against interceptors. 33 damage when these guys have 14.5. So really, the first shot does damage. The rest of the bounces ain't doing much. Mental MP coming on out. Being cautious. Really don't want to overextend. With 2 people left, yes, even very cautious. Where are they? Scanner sweep, making sure there's no crazy shenanigans coming in. We got Mental MP. He was repping up for a plasma barrage, and it was preempted by the lockdown. The lockdown's a little bit faster. It doesn't have an animation, so in the time of the animation, the plasma barrage was effectively canceled because you can't use ability. Lockdown can only drain about 100 energy, which is almost nothing. So he basically has 100 energy by the time that he's back, but you just are unable to use a nuke being launched against Jack. Jack trying to do as much damage as possible, but Sneezy, you really don't have any very missiles, so only your nuke is the thing that can do some damage. He has about 10,000 left, so he's going to survive. Will this be enough? Mental MP, if he gets another Vortex in that area, he could definitely do it. And yes, even the nuke does hit him, but Vortex hitting both of them. Vortex hitting from Mental MP, hitting both the blue side right now. The carrier and the battlecruiser are hanging out in no man's land right now, a little bit, tiny bit outside the range of the battle station. Will that be enough? Jack is going to come on back. He had to go there. Is it time for a missed vortex? A missed vortex from 1X. While the blasters are still going on, 1X trying to get out of there. He's only at 3,000 life. Jack doing a bunch of damage with another side blast. 300 life, and he is. 1X is taken out by Jack. Jack doing, trying to now run away from whatever. I think the interceptors are still kind of alive, and Sneezy trying to do as much damage as possible. Sneezy coming in, trying to maybe commit, but is he overcommitting? He has, he's in the range, and Sneezy, oh no, you got hit by the tower. You're using your abilities, but it's not going to quite be enough. Mental MP, if he launches any more abilities, he doesn't have any right now, but his interceptors are just going to kind of keep on going, and he does take them out. And that is going to be game. Back and forth action, losing a bunch of people each time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing Starcraft Star Battle all the time. Send your replays to maffumancasting@gmail.com to watch your games be played.